Hiya guys and welcome back. Today we've got a brand new review and we've got M. Night's daughter's debut movie, The Watchers from Ishana Night, if I'm even saying that right. It's a brand new 2024 movie. We both caught this movie in cinemas last night. What are your thoughts, Jenks?
Uh, I still got PTSD. Okay, not in a good way, right? Not so awesome that I'm just still shaking. I'm shaking. No, I'm not shaking. I'm seething. This was a fucking pile of shit. Okay, a pile of
Hey,
shit.
a little bit more respectful, please, Jenks. Come on now. A little bit
Dog
more
shit. Dog
respectful.
shit. Sorry. Okay. It's a story of these people trapped in the woods and they're stuck in this glass container where monsters watch them. It's called the coop. And it's very much in the vein of people waking up, not sure, well, not waking up, but being somewhere they don't know why, like the Cube, and a bit like the series From, and a bit like
Yes, I got From vibes. Yeah.
yeah, and like the Maze Runner, that's kind of thing. And these monsters watch them every night when the sun goes down, and they're trapped there. And some have been trapped for months, and that's where the problem starts. They've been trapped. Some have been trapped there for months, some potentially years. Like I think Madeline, and you're thinking, all of you look clean as fuck. There's no shower there. There's no water to drink. Okay. And they're eating a crow every day to eat. They're catching
Crow.
a crow and cooking it between four of them. And it's like, where are they getting the water from? Where are they getting the shower from? And they all look squeaky clean. It's
The
not
one
what.
that's been there the least amount of time, I think she said like 6 months.
Yes, something like that.
She'd been
Six or
there like the
7 months.
least amount of time.
Hair's perfect.
Yeah,
It's not a curl out of thing. It's ridiculous.
yeah. Do you know
Yeah,
what? I had quite high expectations for this
me
one.
too.
Obviously we're going to cinema a lot, and I've been seeing this trailer all the time, and it looked fantastic. It looked like an M Night film. I'm a big fan of his, and I thought his daughter could carry that legacy back. And what a first film this one would be if it did well.
Yeah,
But I gotta say, I switched off after half hour, maybe not even that. And
yeah,
the biggest problem with this movie is that the setup isn't intriguing enough. It's got a really good opening scene, but then once that's done,
yeah,
the setup isn't strong enough, and it sets up these character tropes for characters that don't really pay off later on in the film.
yeah,
It doesn't really go anywhere,
yeah.
and then once they get in those woods, um, I can't even call it a horror film. It's more of like
Yeah,
a fairy tale movie.
yeah.
Um, and it just wasn't scary at all. And
The
everything you said, Jenks, about them being squeaky clean and
oh,
feeding on flipping crows.
not a monster. When you see the monsters, right? They are really bad CGI, and again, if it's a budget issue, hide them, hide the
Yes,
CGI.
exactly.
Be a master of your budget. Okay, we are skint. Let's just use what we can. There's one bit where the monsters got open mouth. Oh, I think, oh my God, how many times have I seen this? You saw it in The Faculty, and that was like one of the first times you saw it, which is a great film. You've seen it every single time. It's so bad, and you've got no sense of time. Like, the main character is Dakota Fanning, and she's like the newest arrival, and it's getting a sense that she's been a while now, maybe months throughout the
Yeah,
film.
because the
You haven't
snow comes in and
but you don't really have a sense that anything's changed. Hair's the same, her clothes. Again, do they even have blankets? I can't even remember. And and they've got four characters, including her. Yeah, you know a bit about her backstory, which is a very like written on a napkin tragic story, like her trying to get
yes.
over the death of her mother. But the other characters, I don't know anything about them. It's like the boy in it, it's just like he's in it. It's not as if they're 20 to juggle. We got like Squid Game. There's loads of characters. I knew more about those characters than I did about these
100%.
four. It was shit.
That's the problem. Like, you can juggle four characters. That's not too many characters to write for. Everybody needed a bit more substance,
Yeah.
because I know we're following Dakota Fanning's characters. I haven't even took the time to learn their names because I went in and I came out and that was it.
I had to write it down, Mina.
Mina.
Yeah. I had to write it down bold on my
But
notes.
other than her, we don't get any sense of who anyone is in this movie. And like I said, I switched off after half hour, and I actually nodded off twice in this film, very shortly.
Well,
But I nodded off a couple of times.
Probably tried. You probably took a Valium.
Yeah.
Do you know, right? Now, I don't think it's the fault of the film, right? But I'm just going to point out, right? There's a flashback scene where it shows Dakota Fanning as a child,
I know you're
and
going to say,
the kid looks nothing like Dakota Fanning, and like we know what she looks like as a child. She's one of the most famous child actors
yes,
ever,
I
and it's
know.
like you know, obviously that's not a fault of the film, but the little kid looks nothing like her, nothing at
I
all.
feel like, because obviously she's a twin, I feel like they just found a pair of twins and they went, these will have to work. They look nothing like her, and that's my biggest complaint. I came out of cinema and I was like, what the hell was that casting? It's
Yeah.
the worst child to adult casting I've ever seen.
Yeah, I know. I know. Honestly, it was ridiculous. Right. Another big problem with it. There's multiple problems. Okay. Again, no sense of dread. You know, when you watch, if you haven't seen From, I highly recommend it. It's very similar. People are stuck in a town, and when night comes, these horrible things come out of the woods. The tension in that series, when those things come out of the woods, you are dreading it with, oh my God, here they come, here they come. Even Lost had moments of that, of like, what the fuck are these things in the woods? You know, in spite of all the flaws of Lost. This one, I couldn't give a shit when they turned up, when they were outside the glass. I had no sense of dread whatsoever. I don't know if you felt the same.
100%. Well, that's the biggest complaint, Jenks, is it's not scary. And like I said at the start of the review, like it isn't a horror movie. It's not scary. It's more of a little fairy tale movie about a few people stuck in the woods, and every night some fairies come to visit them. And that's exactly what it is. Now, this
Yeah,
film was advertised as a horror movie, and it's not that. It's not scary.
yeah.
There's no gore. Again, horror movies don't have to have gore, but
No.
there's nothing in there to give it that, I'd even say that 15 mark. Do you know what I mean?
No, and for me, right, the biggest thing for me, I can forgive a lot of things, right? But the biggest reason I was instantly not liking this film is the acting or the dialogue or the two or the both.
It
Okay.
had an awful script.
The delivery. Obviously, Dakota Fanning is a fantastic actress. She was amazing in War of the Worlds and Man on Fire, all this. Um, the acting of these characters is some of the worst. It's like, you know, like those bad movies you find on Shudder where the cover looks awesome. You click
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
you get
There's
Jesus.
plenty of them.
And like you and I are pretty clued up on horror films, right? Hence that channel. I've never even heard of a horror film thinking that must be dog shit, because I'm pretty much on the pulse, like, you know, fingers on the pulse. Like, I
Yeah.
never heard of that. That's not a good sign. But the acting, especially Madeline, the white head woman, I can't remember her name. I couldn't be bothered to learn it. She's in the Texas Chainsaw remake and all this.
Yes. Yeah,
And
yeah.
she's been in a few films popping up. She's terrible. She goes, follow the rules. Stand behind me. If we stay still, they won't get us. I was like, oh my God, this woman, it's so bad. Like, and I don't want to sound like a thespian because my books don't sell as much as probably The Watchers, but The Watchers is based on a novel, okay?
Yeah.
And the dialogue feels like it's taken directly from the book. Now, when you write dialogue in a book, it's fine when you read it. Sometimes spoken aloud doesn't sound very believable. So when you make a script of a book, you have to tweak the dialogue.
Tweak it. Yes, of
Yeah.
course.
I feel like she's just taken the dialogue directly like from it. And it's so bad and jarring. Really
It
bad.
is. And I gotta say, right, I've said this a few times. It seems I have a lot of big problems with this movie. But you know what really pissed me off about this film? And it's something that pisses me off in any film, right? Where the movie treats the audience like we're thick, right?
Yeah.
Everything gets over explained and over explained. Like sometimes you need to leave it to our imagination
Yeah.
to figure out what's going on and what's happened. And a lot of times this film isn't overly complicated. When something happens, you kind of know why it's happened. But everything that happens in this film gets explained by
Yes.
one of the characters, specifically at the end where you get the final conclusion and they run down the whole movie of what went on. It's like, no, we've kind of got to that by
Yeah.
ourselves because you've left us a trail of clues to get to that point.
Yeah.
But soon as people start over explaining things, I switch off them because I like to think I can watch a film and understand it and know what's going on. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
I
my mother would be useless without it. My mother watched Yellow Jackets, right? And because there's so many characters in it, she
Yeah.
had a notepad and pen of all the characters.
Well, you know, M. Night Shyamalan said, and I'm paraphrasing, but he said, because either he was on set helping out or he's got a producer credit. I'm not really sure, okay? But he said, watching my daughter direct her first movie changed the way I think about movies. Some of the guy said, and I thought, what? Just how to not to make a movie? Because
Yeah.
this is
Well,
this is shit.
this is another problem with it, right? Is he's watched this movie and he's allowed her to release it. And I'm not saying that in a funny way or trying to be funny. I'm being genuine. Like, clearly he knows enough. He's watched this film and gone, yes, this is the one. It doesn't need anything else. Let's get it out there in cinema. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
but
he knows
yeah,
what he's talking about.
yeah, but maybe she said the same. But his films like, right, Lady in Water, Dad, top notch. Get up,
Yeah.
happening. Yes, it's
Quick
happening.
quits, innit?
Get it out. Thanks, 8-year-old daughter. Uh,
Yeah.
yes, right. I can't. I'm just gonna. I think we're gonna ramble all the time for this.
Yeah.
You pretty much guessed my review. This is going to be a first on Twisted Locker, I think.
Yeah.
1 star. 1 star. It's there. What about
Do you know
you?
what? I really wanted to give this one at least 2 stars because it had some good cinematography and there was some things to like in it. Very little, but I can't. I can't give it 2 stars.
What are you
I
going to give
have
it?
to give it 1 star.
1 star.
I'm the
There we are.
5-star man. I give a bad movie 4 stars. I'm known for it. Ain't I,
1
Jenks?
star. Yes, I
I'm
know.
terrible at
I
rating
know.
movies.
Yes.
But sometimes, Jenks, we think the same. 1 star
Yes.
for this one.
Yes.
Give this one a miss in cinema, guys. If it comes on Netflix, give it a go. But that is all we've got time for. Catch you on the next one.
Cheers.
Cheers.